Hi there, and welcome back to the History of Fleetwood Mac. I'm Anita. Today we're going to continue Volume 18, Episode 11 of my Fleetwood Mac and Stevie Nicks scrapbooks. And today, unfortunately, I really wanted to finish up Soboba and get into Concord. And I think I will get into Concord just so that I don't cheat anybody on a video. But I've had a sick little dog and cat. And really, I've tried to film a couple times today, and they've been sick. So I think that they're pretty okay. It's been, about an hour, 2 hours maybe since they've gotten sick. So I'm like, let me try and make a video. Normally I would try and have this done in the middle of the day to get put up in time. And also since I was behind a video because that one came out on Sunday instead of Monday. So I feel really bad. And today it was so funny because I just didn't feel like working on Concord, which is where I need to be working on. I was working on like Buckingham McBee shows and stuff like that. I don't know. It's been a weird day. We're supposed to get snow today and tomorrow possibly, and there's no way in hell it's snowing. It's pretty cold out, but it's just been a weird week, and it's only Tuesday. I don't know what's going on. Everything's fine, just and thank God. The irony too is that Gypsy has a little doctor appointment tomorrow. She has a vet appointment, so that's just, maybe she knows or something, or maybe my energy is freaking out. Hell if I know. So carrying on with Soboba, I'm going to kind of go here. This was another kind of like this big word. I'm looking, why does this happen to me every single time? Well, like part of me, like I'll do things like that and I really do stop the video. Do you have any idea how many times I stop a video because something like that happens? Flyer is a big word. Ad, something, one of those two would have worked. This is another nice ad of Stevie and Chris. And this pass, I think I found this pass. I've told you that I'll scour the floor at the end looking for tickets and passes. This is one of the first time I think I actually found a pass. And it's kind of all like weird, it's kind of like all stretched out. But this one says July 1st, 2007. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I bought that one on eBay. I have found one pass and it was around this time and I can't remember what it was. So, but yeah, so I got the pass. And then, like I said, I had some really nice pictures of the girls here. Let me take this out. Like I always forget to do when I start a video. I'm just batting 1,000 today, aren't I? I like getting pictures. I have a friend that I send some of my pictures to, and when I get the count, I can understand maybe not wanting pictures of Waddy or Carlos, or I don't know, I kind of want them all. But the pictures of the girls to me are as essential as Stevie. I mean, Stevie is the star, and Stevie is who I follow. I don't follow Jana, Lori, or Sharon, although if they did, I would probably go see them in concert. But I love taking pictures of them. They're just so a part of the Stevie show, the Stevie environment and the feeling. When Mary was touring with Stevie, that also was just a packed element. It was Stevie's best friend. She was so cordial and so nice to people. So it was really, it's a whole show. And everybody who's there, I mean, Stevie picks the best people to be on tour with her. And so everybody who's there just really makes for the whole show. So I really like getting pictures of the girls. This one in the middle is small, but it's a really nice clear shot. And you can also see Carlos in the background there. And then that one is one of my favorites. Jane looks real pretty there, and a nice shot of Lori. It's been a while since I've gotten some good shots of Sharon. And actually, oddly enough, whereas I'm almost always on the girl side, as of late, it seems like the last couple Stevie shows that I was at, I've been on Waddy's side. And like intentionally, I'll try and be on obviously as close to the front row as possible, but if on the front, I'll try and be on the girls' side. Sometimes I don't really even like to be right in the middle of Stevie, mostly because I just don't want to be, taking pictures like right in front of her. See how many pictures I take. So, I'm still enjoying the show and stuff like that, but, I like to be a little bit to the side or something like that. So another picture of Stevie, kind of with her head turned, but I like that you could see the whole outfit and the hat here. And another one of her to the side. I'm going to guess she could have been doing leather and lace or something with Waddy, maybe. So that is that. And before I get to the other side, I'm going to finish this one here. Now, despite all that horribleness that I was describing in the show, I somehow got a set list, and it was Jana's. So maybe after all was said and done, I did go back up to the front, because let me tell you also, when the crowd cleared, they're done. They're good. They had their thing. Nobody wanted set lists. Nobody was looking for tickets, picks, and like that from anybody. They just want to be on the front, and that was that. So I was able to get it. And then down at the very corner here, I wrote the date, which is highly unusual, and it was Jana's set list. So maybe I just made eyes with her and been like, please. I doubt she handed it to me. I mean, I'm not sure that they've ever, maybe once I've gotten a set list directly from the girls, but I don't think so. I think normally it's the people on the end. And once I think I got one from Mary, but yeah, I don't think ever from the girls. That was a nice set list. It was a nice, I was trying to think, Fall from Grace was on here, so that was always nice hearing. Rock and Roll was kind of getting it, getting it speed up. I don't think she'd put it out on that. Well, it was on Crystal Visions, right? So yeah, I think that was pretty full force for that. And that kind of comes and goes still on the show. I was noticing coming up pretty soon in 2009 that, I forgot all about having seen Storms live. That was kind of cool. I just really like, and I kind of want to write down a list, and, so many people have demos and live shows and stuff like that. But I was really thinking about writing down a whole list of all the songs that I have heard Stevie sing live, because we're so used to the standards with Rhiannon and Dreams and Edge of 17 and stuff like that. But, we have been handed some real gems, and we're very blessed, that she picks a pretty good amount per album when she has come out with an album to sing live. And, but when that album's over, we don't get too much, except for Belladonna, Wild Heart. Really not Rock a Little, really, except for Beating the Beast, maybe. Or, has anyone ever written anything for you? But yeah, like hearing Storms, hearing Sarah, hearing I Sing for the Things. That was just so amazing. So freaking amazing. Yeah, Annabelle Lee, things like that. So I don't mean to get ahead of myself, but this one is kind of blurry, kind of not the greatest, but Stevie, as you can see, is right there. And then the rest, everybody. So, she's singing to them. Another one of the girls, which by now you guys might be bored of that. But like I said, I really like getting pictures of them. And that's a nice one of all three of them. Another nice one is Stevie here. And then these were some of the, I think maybe I was starting to kind of back away at this point. And, also I was getting jostled. So, getting a clear shot, I was very grateful. So these aren't actually that grainy up close. They're just kind of darker now. Some of the ones I've gotten that are kind of light are still grainy. You know what I mean? It's like, sending in your zoom real tight. But these, if they're enlarged, they don't get grainier. They're just a little bit darker, a little bit soft. Actually, it's like in serious mode right here. One thing I have noticed about Stevie too is very seldom does she take it in, what's going on in the audience. I mean, I've heard, obviously we've all heard the infamous, don't F with my people kind of thing. She handed a ring, I want to say, to somebody during the Wild Heart tour, and somebody else tried to grab it, and Stevie made sure that person it was received to them. But I can't think of any shows really where like there's been an incident in the front where like, Stevie's had to stop the show. I'm sure it's probably happened. But if there's rowdiness or something like that, and you'll love a story that I have in the future, Fleetwood Mac in concert in Seattle. And it's the stuff that was going on in front of there. I can't believe that Stevie didn't just storm off the stage. It was ridiculous. But I've really never noticed anything. And I hear she's, what is it? Farsighted, is that right? Where you can't see out, or short-sighted is near. I can't remember which is which, but I know for her it's kind of blinding up there. It's a no-brainer. We can see so clearly, but when she's looking out, obviously it's really dark. But the commotion that was going on, even though maybe I'm overstating it, that it was it was going on, but there was no like yelling and screaming. There was just like people right next to you being like piss off, or like I said, or people kind of starting fights. But it was just enough. There's just enough in the front that she couldn't see two or three rows behind, and nothing got completely out of hand. But it was just like I said, it was an awful place to be that night. But I'll stop bitching about it, because I'm lucky. I was still at the show. Do not misunderstand. I was very grateful. I'm not mad at any of the people there. It's just we all. It's not even, and it's certainly about not being a snob and getting front row and being like, what? No. I've had plenty of times. I'm very grateful, but I guess I just don't get people that go to shows and are just assholes. And don't get me on the topic of people who go and drink. they're just in and out getting drinks, in and out, in and out. It's like, what are you doing here? Now, a show that I was at one time where something like that was happening was a Tori Amos show, and I've only seen her a couple times, but I like her a lot. But her live shows are hit and miss for me. But somebody was up and down, going and getting drinks, and Tori like scolded them, and it's like, having front row is a privilege, not, just calm down and be quiet. She's like on her phone and selfies and all that kind of stuff, and part of me is like, hey, she paid for it, but Tori's also the kind of person who wants her fan base to, there's people who would buy for that ticket, and we want to make sure that somebody's there. But I've never really heard Stevie, certainly in her later years, get on anybody. And probably if she did see anything in that show, she just wanted to keep going and get it over with. So, but that will kind of wrap it up for Soboba. Let's just put a nice little bow on that and just pretend that the pictures, everything went fine. Everything is all right. And then I will start on Concord, and then I'll leave this kind of short. Actually, because I did not finish the other page, there's the remaining part of this article here. Again, for Concord, I got section 1, row HH, which is probably like the pit. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, 8 rows back. So not bad. Probably made it up to the front real easy. And that's how they, sometimes they don't start like A, B, C, D. It's A, B, B, or whatever like that, or it just depends. But I got some really good shots, obviously. So I was pretty close to that one. And I do have a lot more pictures for the remainder of Concord. So really clear, really nice pictures over here. So that was it for Concord. So no, that was it for Concord tonight. I apologize. So we have the remainder of Concord tomorrow, and I think that we might just have a little odds and ends here. And then I think that'll wrap up 2007. I'm pretty sure about that. But I have stuff going on in 2008. And then, there's just a little off stuff that she did. I did not see any shows in 2008, but then there's 2009. There was some Fleetwood Mac shows. That's kind of another story, kind of a little bit of a downer, but you'll hear it. And I think we just might jump into that, but it's going to be pretty short. 8 is going to be just bits and pieces that might add on to the remainder of Concord. And then we'll start 2009 as kind of its own little part. So thank you so much for joining me. I'm sorry that it's kind of sporadic and more yucky than pictures and stuff to show you tonight. It was not intentional, and I'll be back on it tomorrow. I have stuff kind of ready, but not, ready to do the video. So wish Gypsy luck tomorrow. I'm sure she'll be just fine. She's getting her rabies renewed, and we gave her some French fries from McDonald's. Was that it? Was that our fault? I'll be honest with you. I haven't had McDonald's French fries in months, a year maybe. I've tried really hard to start taking better care of myself, just eating, and I'll still eat sweets and stuff and have a lot of damn coffee, but like fast food, I just really don't do fast food anymore. And boyfriend had a hankering for it. And we went out, and literally the first fry that I tasted, I was like, it's so weird. Just, you could taste the oil, you could taste the, and we gave Gypsy like a handful. And, and that was Sunday night. So here we are on Tuesday, and I think maybe that was it. So anyway, thanks for hearing me rant. I apologize. And thank you so much for joining me, and last video. And I still have so much more coming up. So thank you again. Everybody have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.